Could the next billion-view horror franchise come from a creepy internet meme with sirens for a head? Welcome back to The Final Cut, your daily pulse in horror. I'm Travis, and today we're talking about a massive Hollywood bidding war over Siren Head, early reactions to Evil Dead Burn, and a Vietnamese horror phenomenon that's helping redefine international horror. Let's dive in. One of the internet's most infamous monsters is heading to theaters. After a massive 5-studio bidding war, Warner Brothers has secured the rights to Siren Head, the viral horror sensation created by Trevor Henderson. And this isn't some quick cash grab adaptation. The project has serious horror talent behind it. Weapons director Zach Kreger is co-writing the script alongside Brian Duffield, with Duffield expected to direct. And if you've been paying attention to horror lately, those names immediately get your attention. What's really fascinating here isn't just the monster, it's what Siren Head represents. A few years ago, Hollywood was chasing comic books. Now, studios are chasing internet horror. Backrooms, Obsession, and now Siren Head. What started as a creepy image online has grown into a full-blown mythology with billions of views across TikTok, YouTube, and gaming platforms. Slender Man was just a little bit too ahead of his time, I'm telling you. The big question is whether Hollywood can capture what made it scary in the first place. Because internet horror doesn't always work when you put a giant studio budget behind it. My question for you guys, though, is which internet horror creation deserves a big movie next? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead.
Streaming had nothing worth watching. Then GRUV showed up. New Blu-rays, new steelbooks. Physical media I actually own. Link in bio.
Next up, the first reactions for Evil Dead Burn have arrived, and critics keep using the same words. Brutal, mean, savage, relentless. According to early screenings, director Sebastian Vanacek may have delivered one of the most vicious entries in franchise history. Multiple critics are comparing it to 2013's Evil Dead in terms of intensity, gore, and pure nightmare fuel. Others are saying it somehow manages to balance all the brutality with genuine emotion and the franchise's signature dark humor. One reviewer even claimed someone in the theater audibly gagged during a particular scene, which honestly might be the most Evil Dead review imaginable. The encouraging thing here is that fans aren't just praising the gore, they're praising the filmmaking, the creativity, the pacing, and the energy. For a franchise that began more than 40 years ago, that's pretty remarkable. And don't forget, man, go back and watch Sebastian's first film, Infested. It's a great spider movie. But my question for you guys, which Evil Dead movie is your favorite entry in the franchise? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead. I actually liked Evil Dead Rise a lot, but the first Evil Dead, the very, very first one, will forever be my favorite. I know a lot of people love Evil Dead 2 because of the scene with Ash, and all that stuff is fun and great, but the OG, in my opinion, is still the best. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments ahead.
Finished my last horror game. Nothing left to play. Then I found Fanatical. Insane deals on games every day. Link in bio.
And finally, one of the biggest horror success stories of the year didn't come from Hollywood. It came from Vietnam. Phi Phong, the blood demon, has become a major box office phenomenon and is now expanding into international markets following a record-breaking run in its home country. The film is based on Vietnamese folklore and follows a sibling shamans confronting a terrifying, shape-shifting demonic entity tied to ancient legends. And that's exactly why this story is insane. For years, many horror fans have looked to Japan and South Korea for international horror, but now we're seeing other countries throughout Southeast Asia, Taiwan, Vietnam, also bringing their own myths, legends, and supernatural traditions to global audiences. And audiences are responding. The success of Phi Phong proves something horror fans have known for years. The scariest stories are often the ones rooted in local culture because they feel authentic, because they come from real fears passed down through generations, and because they introduce us to monsters we've never seen before. So, my question for you guys to wrap up the show, which country is producing the most exciting horror movies right now? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead. Death metal, today's take. Today's stories highlight one of the biggest shifts happening in horror. The genre is becoming more global and more connected than ever before. Internet horror is becoming theatrical horror. 40-year-old franchises are still evolving, and folklore from around the world is finding new audiences. The next great horror icon might not come from Hollywood. It might come from a YouTube video, a forgotten legend, or a myth you've never heard of before. And honestly, that's one of the most exciting things happening in horror today. So, for that Spotify poll question, which story today are you most excited about? Siren Head, Evil Dead Burn, Phi Phong, the Blood Demon, or something else entirely? And if you enjoyed today's episode, give us that thumbs up. Make sure you're following The Final Cut on Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to follow us on the socials at HMUNCUT. Head over to the website, read you some news, and let me know your answers to today's questions, because I want to hear which internet horror stories, horror franchises, and international horror films have your attention right now. That's it for today's episode of The Final Cut, your daily post in horror. Once again, I'm Travis, your horror movie journalist, tuning in, giving you more updates, more headlines. We'll be back tomorrow to wrap up the week to do the same thing. Don't forget, we are off on Monday, but we'll be back tomorrow. More headlines, more updates, more news. Until then, you know the drill. Keep the lights on.
Want real horror coverage? Horror Movies Uncut. Smartest reviews, best interviews, no fluff. HMUNCUT.com.